Hey everybody, co-host of Craft Brewed Sports, Scott Kaiser here, back for another episode of The Hater's Guide to Watching Winning Time, the rise of the Lakers dynasty. Now before we get any further, go on ahead and click that subscribe button, ring that bell if you haven't already so you know when we go live with new episodes, and get ready, because we're diving right in. Who the fuck is Jack McKinney? I guess that's the question of the week, and fittingly enough, the name of the episode. And this show wastes no screen time. We are off and finger banging. Jerry busts up to his Playboy ways at a restaurant when, of course, his family walks into the same restaurant. Seems mighty convenient for as big as LA is, but whatever. This show always nails the cold open, but I need to hate on HBO for a minute. Go ahead and do yourselves a favor, guys. Ditch the skip intro button. Is there a hotter intro in the game right now? That shit is such a banger. Anyway, after the last 2 weeks felt like Dr. Bus was put on the back burner a bit, he came back with a vengeance this week. We found out that he's the original creator of Facebook, fuck off Zuck, as he thumbs through a photo album filled with Polaroids, phone numbers, and a whole lot of titties. HBO loves their titties. It must be a requirement of most of the series that they green light. We get the answer to who the fuck Jack McKinney is as the episode unfolds. McKinney, played by Tracy Letts, seems equal parts genius and psychopath. This motherfucker runs himself to exhaustion in the desert, and that's juxtaposed to just how hard he chooses to run the new team that he's the head coach of. He's got a vision for fast-moving basketball, and it brings chaos. Jason Segel makes his debut as Paul Westhead, and Westhead is the soft-spoken assistant for McKinney that, much like Adrian Brody's Pat Riley, comes off as a bit of a bitch. Speaking of Riley, he's back, but he's got a much smaller role to play, but it sure is impactful. I've decided that he's such an underdog that I can't help but root for him, despite the fact that knowing he's going to eventually put that bullshit team together in South Florida later in his life. Now, in my previous guides, I haven't specifically touched on Norm Nixon. Nixon, the point guard of the Lakers before Magic Johnson showed up, is played by Devon Nixon. No relation. He's been the unsung MVP of this show. His insecure, quick-talking, hilarious one-liners, and clear old-school mentality bring a foil to play off of Magic Johnson. I'd put him right there behind Jerry West as characters I'd pay to see more of in a spinoff. I mean, anyone who drops the one-liner, "Don't be no Rosa Parks," in a sarcastic way to describe the rookie Magic needed to sit on the back of the team bus is a winner in my book. And some final notes before I wrap things up in this episode. Slam Duck definitely should have been what the Lakers went with. Can you imagine a big-ass duck as a mascot for the Lakers today? Might actually make those motherfuckers watchable. Now, I mentioned HBO likes titties, but not only did we get titties in photographs, we got plenty of actual titties on screen again, including some animated ones this time around. And even the obligatory man-ass to balance all that out. And finally, when describing what we all know will become Showtime, the Lakers girls, and the Forum Club, multiple characters describe them as Disneyland meets the Playboy Club at the Oscars. Now, how timely is that reference? What's up, Will? Now, it was nice to see that episode 4 finally got a little bit more into the basketball action of the show, seeing practice and seeing how things are going to play out once the Lakers start to get better when the new season begins. And that's juxtaposed to the fact that a lot of the show has been focused just on the behind-the-scenes stuff and meeting the characters and getting to know them as personalities. And that's all good, but I can't wait till next week marks the halfway mark of the show and we get to see even more on-the-court action. But that's going to do it for this week's episode. If you enjoyed, again, make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and every Wednesday here on YouTube, check in at 8 o'clock Eastern for a brand new episode of Craft Brewed Sports. We do it up big every week, and we want to make sure that you guys are here to spread the word. We appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Peace. I'm out.